Hey y'all, today I'm going to be talking about my recent order from Color Blends for all the bulbs I'm going to be planting this fall. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when my latest videos are up, and make sure you drop me a comment below. Where do you order your bulbs? Do you pick them up at a big box store? Do you order online? Do you share with friends? Where do you get your bulbs, and what is your favorite place to receive them from? Okay, so this year, before I started ordering my fall bulbs, I actually posted a message on Facebook asking several people, other gardeners, where they get their bulbs. And of course, Laura from Garden Answer had recently done a video where she had placed her order from Color Blends. Well, in the past, I had always thought that Color Blends was a wholesale type of situation. And turns out it's not. Anybody can order from them. And it is really nice. You can buy lots of bulk bulbs. So if you're like planting thousands of bulbs, you can order that from them. Or you can buy smaller batches, like 20, 30, 40, somewhere around there. So I was really kind of excited because a lot of people have really talked about the great quality of Color Blends. So I was excited to try it out, see if it's bulbs I was interested in, look at the prices and such. Now, in the past, I've ordered from several different places, specifically Brex, Holland Bulbs, just several other ones, Eden Brothers. I've bought them from the big box stores, just a wide variety of places. And I had actually already put a whole order on Brex. I was gonna get about to place it, and then I decided to ask everybody else's opinion. Well, it turns out actually from Color Blends, the pricing was a lot better. And so I'm kind of excited to see what the quality is based on this lower cost pricing. So all the bulbs that I ordered are bulbs that are gonna be planted this fall. So what'll happen is Color Blends will send me those in October. Several of the bulbs I purchased will need to be pre-chilled, meaning I'll need to put them in the refrigerator, preferably a refrigerator with no fruits or vegetables, because those gases from the fruits and vegetables can cause issues with your bulbs. So it'll probably be in my drink refrigerator out in the garage, and I need to have those in there. I believe it's 6 to 12 weeks. A pre-chill time. So if I get them in October, go ahead and put them directly into the refrigerator. I should be able to plant them at the end of December, beginning of January, which in my area is still okay, right? Because it's not the ground is not frozen solid or anything like that. For other areas, most likely Color Blends would send you your bulbs earlier than that, so that you didn't have to go, and try to go into frozen ground. Frozen ground is not really a thing in my zone 8A area. We do get some cold weather. It does get really chilly, but the ground does not typically freeze per se. So I will still be able to work my soil in January and add all those bulbs at that time. So that'll be another video for you guys. Okay, so I think what I'll do is go over the pre-chilled bulbs first and then do the remaining after. Okay, so the first of the pre-chilled bulbs that I ordered, meaning these are bulbs that when they get to me, they must be pre-chilled before I put them in the ground. If I don't pre-chill them, I won't get any kind of display from them. So the first one I ordered is called Angelique, and it is a tulip. The tulip is kind of like a pinky blush tone. Let me see if I've got a description on here. They call it Candy for the Eye, a late flowering double that combines soft pink and white in near endless variety. Angelique has frequently been declared one of the most beautiful tulips beautiful of all tulips. It's 15 to 17 inches tall. It needs full sun, and it needs well-draining soil. Let's see, it's a late blooming one, which is really nice. Okay, so for pre-chilling, so for most spring flowering bulbs, it says specifically tulips and hyacinths and some other ones as well, they need a prolonged period of cold temperatures to grow and bloom properly. In my particular zone, zone 8A, they need 6 to 12 weeks of cooling, right? So what we'll do is we'll place them in the refrigerator, not a freezer, for 6 to 12 weeks before planting. After this time, the bulbs can be planted outdoors as normal. And when you're planting a bulb, it really just depends on the bulb on how deep you're supposed to plant it. This particular one, this Angelique tulip, needs to be planted 5 inches deep with 4 inches apart. I am going to be planting all of these bulbs in little clumps and clusters. I'm not going to be spreading them out really far. I want them to be a burst of color that comes up, and then they'll be replaced with later spring blooms as they die back. I ordered 25 of these bulbs at $20, so less than $1 per bulb. I'm really excited because the quality is supposed to be outstanding. The way Color Blends is set up is the more you buy, the less expensive it is. Okay, the next variety I ordered was a big, it's called Big EARTHA, and it's a tulip. And it is a spectacular pink tulip, so large and vigorous, it's hard to believe it's real. As the flowers expand, their sumptuous pink satin slowly deepens to a rich rose. And it can return for several springs. Now, typically tulips in my area don't typically return. I am going to try digging them up and pre-chilling them again to plant next year. So that'll be a future video for you guys. This particular tulip is 24 to 26 inches tall. So that is a long stem right there. It needs full sun, so at least 6 hours of sun every day. Well-draining soil, typically shades of pink and rose. I ordered 25 of these bulbs for $20 total. Okay, the next variety of tulip that I purchased is called Blushing Lady, and it is described as very large yet supremely elegant flowers of pale yellow brushed with rose on the exterior. When closed, they are a quiet sculptural quality. In the sun, when their petals unfurled, they look like a flock of exotic birds taking flight. Super pretty. These are 26 to 36 inches tall, so they have a really nice long stem. They also require full sun, so at least 6 hours of sun per day. Well-draining soil. They are yellow and rose tone. They are a mid to late bloom time. I ordered 25 of these bulbs at $19 per set, so way less than $1 each. Okay, so the next bulb that I ordered that requires pre-chilling is a hyacinth. And if you haven't grown hyacinths, they are an absolutely beautiful bloom with lots of fragrant, like bold fragrance to them. I love hyacinths for arrangements. They don't typically come back each year in my area, so this is another bulb that I will be digging up after their bloom cycle and then prepping and utilizing for next year as well. I'm gonna try that, see if it works out, the whole shebang. A little about the specifications. So the particular variety I ordered is called Hyacinth ETOUFEE, and it is a mix or a blend of colors. And it is 4 hyacinths in pastel shades. They're easy on the eye, and their sweet perfume is the toast of spring. In much of the country, hyacinths provide the first real fragrance of the year. No garden should be without them. They're about 8 to 10 inches tall. They do need full sun, so at least 6 hours of sun, well-draining soil. This is 4 varieties, and they are an early bloom time, so earlier in the spring bloom time, which is very exciting. They should be coming up when all my daffodils are coming up as well. And I ordered 25 of these at $26 total for the 25. Okay, the next variety that I ordered that will require pre-chilling is grape hyacinths. And the particular variety I ordered is a Cobalt C. It's called Cobalt C. And these are much smaller, more petite flowers, typically no more than like a few inches. Absolutely beautiful. But these will need to be pre-chilled as well. The description for them is grape hyacinths in traditional blue, pure white, and a lovely soft azure. Azure, yeah. They can be used as a foil for mid-season tulips or as a standalone planting. The pastel blue harmonizes with the deep blue. The white adds the sparkle. So these are typically about 5 to 6 inches tall. They need full 2-part sun, so they could have a little bit less sun than what I was describing with the hyacinths and the tulips. And they bloom mid-time. So now you can kind of see I've got some hyacinth blooming at the beginning of the spring. I've got these grape hyacinths blooming in the middle of the spring, and I've got tulips blooming towards the later portion of spring. I did order 100 of these, which sounds like a crazy amount, but there are only 27 cents each. So I got 100 of them for $27. They're tiny, petite little bulbs, so I will do clumps of probably 25 to 30 in an area, or I might do a big drift. I don't know. We'll have to see when we get closer. I'm excited for them to get here. Okay, the next set of bulbs that I ordered are alliums, and I did finally have luck with alliums this last season. I bought actually just a couple of boxes of alliums from Aldi's. If you've never shopped there before, they do have quite a few gardening things. and I had success with those bulbs, and I also had success with drumstick alliums as well. I did have failure with gladiator alliums and Schuberti alliums, but I'm going to give them a try because I don't think that I planted them in the proper place, and I don't think I provided them with an adequate amount of water. So we are going to retry with some of those. So the first variety I ordered is called Allium GLOBEMASTER, and those are those really large ones, like a good 8-inch, really big, beautiful design. The most spectacular of all alliums, GLOBEMASTERs bear 8-inch orbs of lilac pink flowers on tall, stout stems. Because the flowers are sterile, they last a long time, and they're an outstanding cut flower, fresh or dried. They are deer resistant as well, for those of you dealing with deers. Their height is about 34 to 38 inches tall. They require full sun, well-draining soil, and they are a very late spring bloom time. I ordered 5 of those bulbs, and these are big bulbs. They are 20 to 24 centimeters. I ordered 5 of those bulbs for a total of $30. Okay, the next variety that I ordered is an allium as well, and it is called Schuberti. And this one is described, this is an intriguing allium, draws the eye with its arresting, almost primordial look. It bears huge 10 to 12 inch spidery heads of rosy flowers, a real conversation piece in the garden and in arrangements. It is also deer resistant. It grows about 18 to 22 inches tall. It needs full sun, and it blooms in the very late part of the season. I got 5 of those, 5 bulbs for $11. Okay, the next variety that I got, and I'm gonna totally butcher this, it is Sparrowcephalon. I call it a drumstick allium. So it's more of a tighter, more compact allium with a really long, thin stem. Really fun. I had a lot of luck with it this year, and so I would like to create another patch of them in another portion of the garden. It is described as drumstick allium, the last of the bulbous alliums to bloom. Its egg-shaped wine red flower heads wait until summer to color up, puts on a nice show when planted in tight groups and a perennial border. And that is my intention, is to kind of really plant all those nice and close so I get this just puff of beautiful alliums. I think it'd be great. They're about 22 to 26 inches tall, full sun. They have a wine red color, and they are very late blooming time. I purchased 100 of these for a total of $15, so 15 cents per bulb. Really, really excited. I'm probably gonna do 2 or 3 clusters of them in different places throughout my garden. Okay, the next 2 bulbs that I ordered are daffodils, and I do love daffodils, and I love daffodils that naturalize, and I love that they are just a predecessor to what is to come for the spring. Very, very exciting. So I ordered 2 new varieties to add to my garden. The first variety is called Mount Hood, and it is described as Mount Hood has been around since the 1930s, but remains the best known and most widely grown of all white daffodils. A strong performer north and south, the nose opens creamy yellow and matures to an even bright white. Very excited. 14 to 16 inches tall, full sun, well-draining soil, and it blooms early to mid-spring. Very excited about that. I ordered 25 bulbs at a total of $30. Okay, and the final bulb that I ordered is called Early Cheer, and it is a daffodil as well, and it is described as a sweetly scented double daffodil that bears 6 to 12 small white flowers on each stem. The flowers resemble miniature roses or gardenias and are easily as fragrant. Despite its name, Early Cheer is a late, by daffodil standards, blooming in mid-season with the likes of, and it lists some other ones as well. Early Cheer is an heirloom that hails from New Zealand. It grows very well in the south and on the west coast, and may not survive winter in colder climates. It is a deer and rodent proof. 12 to 14 inches tall, well-draining soil, full sun, and it blooms, like I said, mid-spring. So one of the things I liked about Color Blends is they had a section for bulbs in the south. Excellent. So I immediately obviously went to there. It did say that the alliums won't do well in my area. However, I do have word from other gardeners in my area who plant alliums all the time and have great success. So I am willing to spend some money on that as well to kind of bring in some of those alliums. Whereas like some of the other bulb sites I went to, their alliums did stretch to zone 8. Color Blends said zone 7. I leave it up to you. I was willing to put my money out there to give these a try since I've had success on some other ones. Okay, so I wanted to pull up my total cost with you guys because I always like to be really upfront. I don't know if I told you the cost of that particular one. I bought of the early cheer, I bought 25 of them at a total of $20. And for my total, I spent $218. Shipping and handling is $32.70. And so my total was $250.70 for all my color blends. And that was almost about 400 bulbs, which sounds like a lot, but you got to remember those little grape hyacinth bulbs and the drumstick alliums are really tiny little bulbs. Like those aren't massive. So I am really excited. I've got this order in. They've already started selling out of sun. So if you are interested, make sure you jump on Color Blends, go through everything. Even if you're not interested in buying, it's just a really fun one to go through. It's a beautiful website, lots of beautiful colors. It's not just giving you the one photo of the bulb and or flower. And it's giving you multiple so you can see it in different variations, different kind of planting situations and different points throughout its growing life. So that's really fun. And so even if you're not interested in buying, it's really kind of fun just to go on the website, check it out, and kind of learn and look at all the prettiness that's on there, which is great. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, seeing what my bulbs are that I've ordered for the fall. I'm really excited. I will also do some bulbs from the big box stores just because I really enjoy it, and I am an impulse buyer at those stores. So it's just gonna happen. As always, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.